Frankie, free agency just 2 weeks away. I want to talk to you about our top 50 free agents list, and you can find the entire list on our website, tsn.ca. Mitchell Marner at number 1. Panthers' big 3 free agents taking up 3 of the top 5 spots. So we've got Mitchell at the top of the board. Lots of dollar figures being thrown around on social media by our insiders and other insiders who work for other outlets. And yeah, the $14 million a season number is very much out there for Mitchell Marner. And I know that's already going to make our colleague Jeff O'Neill very upset. But would you be shocked to see Marner actually sign for that dollar value come July 1st?
I would not be shocked, but it would signal something. If he takes a $14 million AAV somewhere, it's likely going to be with a team that has no capability of winning in the near future. So you'd be taking as much money as you possibly can, and you'd be saying that I'm going to try and go to a team in hopes of winning, you know, in year 3, 4, 5, however many years the deal is, because it's not going to happen right away. I think of teams that are lower in the standings that have a ton of cap space, that need to get over the hump. If you're a team like Chicago, you need someone to play with Connor Bedard. You know, if you're the Anaheim Ducks, you have this young nucleus. Why not try and add a guy like Mitch Marner?
Yeah.
So the money, the big money, that's going to be there from those types of teams. But if he wants to go to a team that's in win now mode, it's not going to be $14 million. They already have too much money allocated to their star players that are trying to help them win right now. It's crazy to think that it would be less money than he makes now. That would depend on the tax situation.
Right.
But, you know, $14 million, if that number comes through, we'll know that it's a team that is a few years away from maybe being a few years away.
Okay, let's talk about those big 3 Florida free agents in the top 5. It seems like they all want to be back. It seems unlikely that they could all be back. Do you think there's a chance they actually could? And if they're not all back, who do you think stays?
So I can't envision a world where all 3 of those guys are back for a number of reasons. First of all, Brad Marchand is kind of pricing himself out of the Florida Panthers right now with the way he's played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if you look at their cap situation, it's like $19 million they have to spend for next year, and they still have to sign, 7 players, if they want to go to a 23-man roster. So there's just not room for all 3. If we look at how last year went, last year they had Reinhart and they had Montour both up. They chose to keep Reinhart, and they got a pretty sweet deal on it. That means they couldn't keep Montour.
Yeah.
It was a work in progress to get someone to replace him. They finally got Seth Jones, and now you could look at Seth Jones as either the Montour replacement or the Ekblad replacement. And if we're going to follow history, they're probably going to prioritize keeping the forward over the defenseman and say, we'll figure the rest out, unless Aaron Ekblad is willing to take a pretty sweetheart deal himself. So I guess what I'm saying is the most I could see is 2, and if it's only 1, my guess would be it's Sam Bennett based on what we saw last year with Reinhart and Montour.
I think you're absolutely bang on. A new addition to our list at number 19 himself, Jonathan Toews, who hasn't played since April 2023. Kevin Cheveldayoff has basically said they'd love to have him in Winnipeg, his hometown. Obviously, Winnipeg would love to have him there, but is it a good landing spot for him? Is it where he should be?
Why can't it be a good landing spot for him? And I'm not going to pigeonhole him into a second-line center spot because it's not fair to assume that he's going to be able to do that at this point. But if you're talking about a guy who brings leadership, character, winning pedigree, the Winnipeg Jets are almost in this place right now, not unlike the Toronto Maple Leafs, where it's like, we know what we're going to get in the regular season. Connor Hellebuck, we know what we're going to get in the regular season. Show us in the playoffs. And a guy like Jonathan Toews, being put into that group who now has more and more playoff experience. They won a round this year. That's only going to help them. You're not relying on him for, copious amounts of offense. You're not saying that he's going to be the second-line center. But, to have a guy like that within that group, and, of course, there's some familiarity within the organization and being from there, all that stuff is valid. You can't go wrong with having a guy like Jonathan Toews playing for the Winnipeg Jets.
If he does go there, that has the potential to be the most intriguing story of next season. I'm really, really interested to see how it goes. I'm also very interested to see how Free Agent Frenzy goes on TSN because, Frankie, I'm wondering how excited you are to man the touch screen again.
Yes, the touch screen is back. We are fired up. We're getting the board ready. Working with the Quizmaster on that. It's all coming together,
You've
Jay.
carved out a beautiful little niche here at the network for yourself. It's
touchscreen guy.
Touchscreen guy. Could be worse. Thanks, buddy.